my honor and delight to welcome and introduce you, who actually I can proudly say I now know for almost 40 plus years. Dr. Mahajan is a world renowned spiritual life coach, holistic wellness expert, and a TEDx speaker. She is a doctorate in spiritual sciences. She has researched on Vedas and Upanishads and combined them with quantum science. She is an expert in Vedic astrology and has successfully established its scientific validation. Through her research in subjects like psychoneuroimmunology, she has been able to reverse chronic illnesses. She has delivered talks on spirituality and science across the globe. She teaches how we can have a strong value system to lead a happy and healthy life. Dr. Mahajan has been a recipient of many awards and honors across the globe for her work. She recently received the Radhakrishnan Bharat Ratna Award for guiding the youth. British Parliament awarded her for spiritual teachings and many more such awards. Dr. Mahajan is the founder of Siddhi, Powered by Humanity, a social organization that works for nation development. I am also personally a proud volunteer and a COVID night with Siddhi. Actually, we all saw you, Meenaji, live on Republic National TV, and Shalini just mentioned that as well yesterday as you shared your COVID night journey with the country. So once again, friends, please join myself to welcome Dr. Meena Mahajan.
The true introduction is that if I was just to tell you where all this is coming from, and I'm often called a spiritual teacher or a spiritual life coach or a spiritual guru, so on and so forth. So, well, the journey was not like this. It was about 26 years back, being a gold medalist in botany and anthropology from the Delhi University, and then this great passion in me to pursue forensics. And as soon as I used to feel that forensics was my biggest passion and aim, because I was a very research oriented person, and coming from a science background, that was it for me. So that was my goal that I had set. But surprisingly, as soon as I got myself there, I started feeling very strange. I was not contented with my achievements at all. Why I was not feeling very comfortable was that I was thinking of something else, and I was being drawn towards a deeper side of life. And that deeper side of life was wanting to know something more than just who I was. It was about the why of life. Millennials normally struggle with what I call the why syndrome. The why syndrome means all of us at some point in time in our life, we often think, why is this happening with me? Why me? I am working hard, but why am I not getting the gains? I am working so hard in my relationships, but I'm not getting success. So we do, come across this why of our life mostly all the time. Why me? In fact, nowadays also I've seen that, people who are being tested positive, and because I spiritually counsel them, the first question is, why me? You know. So I was also probably asking myself that question, and I let myself go with the flow. So the first thing for us to note here is why of life, the why syndrome. And the second breakthrough was that I let myself be, which means I went with the flow. I did not really use too much of logic that why is this happening with me? Why am I thinking like this? Is it right? Is it wrong? So going with the flow, how important it is to go with the flow is also one of the biggest breakthroughs that a human being can have when he feels stuck in a situation. Now, the moment we use this word spirituality, we start getting a little intimidated, because spirituality, people have, and in our memory. So, also, one very important scientific fact here is that whatever we visualize, or if I say a word, the vision of that word depends on your cognitive ability. And cognitive ability means the experience that you have had with that word. So, for example, I throw a word spirituality, and all of us here on this platform, we'll start relating it and we will have a vision of something. But if you actually see, that vision is your experience of the past. So maybe some people have had an experience of a guru who has cheated on you. So the moment you say spirituality, you get that picture in your mind and you say, nahi, 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 ye sab bakwas hai, this doesn't work, right? But for people who have had a good spiritual experience, say their parents have, practiced spirituality in the right manner, okay, they will immediately have a nice vision of this. So cognitive ability is very important. So whenever we say the word spirituality, we often link it up to a certain religion, we link it up to maybe a certain way of thinking, maybe a cult, maybe a philosophy, maybe white colored clothes, or maybe saffron colored clothes, maybe idol worship, maybe something that we read somewhere in a newspaper where anybody did a scam in the name of spirituality, and we started making our belief system accordingly. So and that's absolutely justified, because that's how the human mind and the human sanskar, that's how they work. What is spirituality for me, and what have I discovered in these 26 years of my extensive study and practice? Spirituality is the biggest empowerment tool that one can ever have, because spirituality has the word spirit in it, and spirit means self. When I say self, I mean SELF written in a bold letter form, not the small letters. Because self is that tool. The more you know yourself, the stronger belief system you have. It's like acquiring everything it takes to be a successful person. A lot of people have a myth that spirituality has nothing to do with success, or spirituality has nothing to do with money, or spirituality has nothing to do with wealth. Well, that is the biggest myth that has ever existed. Spirituality teaches you how to become a more successful person in a short span of time. Spirituality teaches you how to earn lots of money, but spirituality teaches you what to do with that money. Now, this word dhyan is a very, very influential word for our own selves, because here we are only talking of self. The biggest breakthrough in spirituality you will get when you consider spirituality for your own self, not for others. You consider it for your own growth and not to change people. So dhyan is the first step to being on this process. I've seen so many questions have already come. So let's consider dhyan to be this first step. What does dhyan mean? Dhyan means to consolidate your energy. Dhyan means that you start looking at your body, you start looking at your mind, you start looking at any deeper layers if you have inside, because in this clutter that we face every day, we are not able to even take attention of anything. We are all gifted with something very beautiful called the breath, which we call the prana shakti. And you believe it or not, uh, the condition of your life can be seen. Say, for example, if I see someone and if I see the way he's breathing, I can actually tell you the physiological issues in his body.
There's a lot of work that you and Siddhi volunteers have been doing on the front line. What are the focus areas for Siddhi, and how do the millennials get associated? I think that was the biggest plus, because if the youngsters want to get associated, I think that's half the job done for people of our generation.
Siddhi Powered by Humanity is a byproduct of my 26 years of journey, where all young people and adults and children who are even 2 years old are volunteers with Siddhi, which means that they follow certain principles and belief systems, because I train them, I give them a lot of insights into how life should be. And the best part is that that rule, like even a small thing like 1/10 of our life resources, money, energy must go into society. That is the biggest law of the universe. And only if we follow that can the cycle be healthy for us, is my national response to this pandemic. And I'm very proud and humbled to say at the same time, why proud of my volunteers, but humbled of the opportunity that has come, that we have been able to change in some way or reach out to about 1 million people in the past 65 days. We are providing food for 20,000 people every day. We are reaching out to the tribals, the Dalit areas, everybody who needs us right now. And going forward, we are going to be providing education, employability, so mental health issues. So we are now going to extend our COVID Nights initiatives into bigger projects which need to rebuild the community. So I would essentially say that Siddhi is an alternate support system for the communities.
Most of us are ruled by logic. Your brain says something else and your intuition says something else, and a person, a human being, gets caught in this dilemma. In this dilemma, what would be your advice?
That distinction between intellect and wisdom, we need to understand that. And intellect is mostly to do with the degrees you have, the accomplishments that you had, and the more well read you are, I feel the sharper intellect you have. But intellect is very different from intelligence. An intelligent person will have an intuition. An intellectual person will keep on arguing basis the knowledge that he has gathered from his degrees and books.
No, when I'm Arjun, it was, I mean, last 1 hour, I was just thinking that I think it's too small time to get through so many topics. And you opened up, it's like, you give a small piece of sweet to someone, you taste it, you like it, and you want to have it more and more and more. So I kind of felt that, yes, this session has opened up so many things. And I think, obviously, we'll discuss with Tarun and Shani to see how we could have series of sessions with you, because I mean, you made things so simply to understand. Even a thing like spirituality, I've been asking this question, between religion and spirituality, and the way you put it forward, that it's a way of life than anything else. I personally have been exposed to a few things. In fact, at Sopra, almost around 15 years back, we started this initiative called Sopra Cares, which takes care of health wellness, financial wellness, and the professional wellness. So this we've been doing for 15 years. We also started some mindfulness sessions for our senior leadership. But I think this is something which cannot be only for the senior leaders, it needs to be for everyone. Meenaji, what is really important is going to back to our basics of life. Somewhere, I don't want to curse the Western people, but somewhere someone kind of has put in our minds that whatever we had in our Vedas and Upanishads and old Indian our Vedas, that's all really bad and it's of no use. And that's, I think we need to get it back. Like even like what you said about, having water from Matka. I remember when I was growing up, we couldn't afford a refrigerator and we were having water from that Matka, which possibly was much better than what we have it from refrigerators today.
Yes.
I think I want to go back to that. Possibly I'm sure.
Please go back to that. And just this one positive move is going to change the health of your family. And when your health changes, your way of changing or your way of thinking changes. And quantum knows everything about our Vedas and they are making full use of it. Otherwise, why would they call the Higgs boson particle God's particle? They should have given it a scientific name. Why did they call it the God's particle? You know?
So
So,
I think has happened that Western world has now taken back yoga with spirituality, and now they're calling it as mindfulness, which is a new word which has come, and that's selling like anything. But I know I'm conscious of time for everyone. Only thing, last thing I would say, you also spoke about gut logic and data. And I can share with you my HR head. I don't know if she is there on call today or not, Vimi. We've had debates on this for long, and I said, as an entrepreneur, I always take decisions based on gut. And she said, no, so I can't take decision if it is not based on data. So then I started saying, yeah, I take decisions based on gut, with gut, based on data. So that's the way I have put it. But thank you, really, really, it's been really inspiring. But definitely, we need to work out in the future how we make it as a journey for us and just not a one session and we forget it. I think it has to be a journey which I think we all have to experience together. So thank you, Tarun, for making this happen. Thanks, Shalini, and thank you again, Dr. Meena Mahajan, for being with us today. It's really a great start for Monday. And I'm sure all the young people we have on this, they will also, I think, when you say that it is something cool, I think that gets into their mind. So that's a word you use for it, and I'm sure we'll have lots to learn. So thank you very much, and have a great day, guys. Great day for you, and great week ahead. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.